Hello good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we are comparing the Alsace and the Republique. If you go on pretty much any big World of Warships YouTubers video talking about the Republique or the Alsace, you'll see probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 comments in there, I don't know, I mean I didn't count, about how the Alsace should have been the tier 10, the Republique either shouldn't have been in the line or it should have been the tier 9 but with smaller guns, and the Alsace should have been the tier 10 with either bigger guns or more health or whatever. So today we're looking at each ship, and I went through and got the clips that I think shows the two ships' strengths and weaknesses, and that's what we're going to look at. And first we're going to take a look at the Alsace. Here I am, there is a cruiser in front of me, I am letting the secondaries absolutely tear into him, which is going to be your best bet to do damage to the cruiser in the Alsace or the Republique because of the guns. However, I do kill him with the main guns there quite well. But you notice it got a bunch of overpins along with a couple of penetrations that I got. Destroyer pops up. I select him with my secondaries. I don't have manual fire for secondaries because I don't use that skill, because if you select the target and it's on one side of your ship, the secondaries on the other side of the ship will completely ignore any targets that pop up on that side of the ship and dodge those torpedoes, because they are trying to shoot at what's on the other side of the ship. Sync that with the main guns too. I actually did get some pins on there. That surprised me, and you'll see why when we get to the Republique clips. But anyway, Alsace has more secondaries than the Republique for some reason. I don't get that. You give a ship only 2 turrets, 4 guns per, granted 4 guns per turret, but a grand total of only 8 guns at tier 10, and you don't give it more secondaries than the tier 9. And they're not better secondaries. If anything, they're kind of worse because they get knocked out way more than the Alsace has. I mean, if just in this clip, I'm going to eat a lot of HE later on in this clip, and the secondaries are still mostly there. Whereas you see in the Republique clip, I'll point it out to you when we get there. Like, I have an entire side of my secondaries just gone from HE, and there's not even a British battleship in the game. Anyway, what's happening here is there's an Amagi up there, but their other tier 9 battleships are coming from the eastern side of the map. There's some of them right now. Are coming from the eastern side of the map, moving up to the western side of the map. And the Alsace is pretty tough, but it can't take on multiple battleships at once by itself in the situation that I'm in. So I'm angling the ship so the secondaries in the front can still get at the Amagi, hopefully set some fires and drain its health. However, there is a British cruiser to my right on the other side of that island, and I'm trying to slow down to avoid its torpedoes. Again, there's some more fire from the other battleships. But I'm also trying to keep the Amagi within range because, he's going to start HE spamming me at any second, and with the 32mm armor that the Alsace, I don't know why I forgot the ship's name, has, you just eat HE, not in the good way, as in it pins your armor pretty easily. Yep, watch this. That much damage from a tier 8 battleship's HE. You can imagine what going up against a Conqueror is like in this thing. And there's the torpedoes. I probably shouldn't have been this far up, but it happens. That's a lot of damage to take from torpedoes. That's because the Alsace and the Republique have horrible torpedo protection. I mean, I play the Germans, so I'm pretty used to it, but if you play something like Yamato and you come to this, you're going to be surprised by the lack of torpedoes you can take. Anyway, select the Edinburgh for the deletion via secondaries. However, I don't get that far. Yeah, I had a pretty crappy team that round. Speaking of crappy teams, there is a Richelieu, yes it is Richelieu, broadside. Sailor's turret gets some okay pins, and the secondaries start tearing into him. And there goes one ship on our team. And he gets deleted. And there's a Montana. Here's the Montana that's getting a little bit too close for comfort. I do slam into reverse, try to bow take him. He gets angled, and you do only have 15-inch guns, so when most other tier 9, tier 10 ships angle, you're not going to be able to do too much. You can shoot the superstructure, but the velocity of the guns is so high, it's just going to pass right through, do minimal damage. You can try to aim for the upper armor, where it's not so thick, but still you're probably just going to get a bunch of overpins. So I'm just going for the belt, I mean, why not? I do get a couple of pins, and some shatters, and some overpins. And I am trying to stay angled to where I can bounce his... Oh, but here comes some HE. Ooh, that was a big ol' hit. Again, you can imagine what fighting British battleships are like in this thing. So I've asked for help, and I've told what team I have over here to focus on him. And as you can see, the Secretors are doing a pretty good job of setting the Montana on fire. And he's angled, and I shoot for his belt, get some pins, some overpins. And then I slam it into drive because I was waiting for him to fire, then I was just going to turn and run. And he shoots at something behind me. I'm not sure why he wouldn't keep shooting at me, because I've got 2 fires on me already, and he probably could have taken away that last chunk of health that I had. Anyway, he starts to angle to get his back turrets up, so I take a shot at his more exposed broadside and get a lovely citadel. But man, am I hurting. My damage control is on cooldown. No, the Hindenburg had been HE spamming me earlier, and I wanted revenge on this guy. Thankfully, he is within secondary range, and then you open him. And look, I'm taking a beating from that Montana for, you know, the past 40-30 seconds. Well, minute actually. I edited a good chunk of it out, and my secondaries are mostly still there. If I was in the Republic, I'd feel like most of my secondaries would be gone. I mean, granted, they're not all there, but a good chunk of them are still there. As you can see, then the gearing pops up, so I tell the secondaries to focus on him, because torpedoes, what battleship player likes torpedoes? And funny enough, they set a fire on the gearing. Hindenburg opens up. His engine's disabled, so he's not moving very fast, if at all. So these shots should connect, but they overpin in one bounces. Ironic that you overpin cruisers so much, but then you also bounce a lot on them. Whatever, wargaming. He's not moving again. Ooh, that one hurt me physically. That was so close. I actually jerked my knee and hit it on the table. And you notice the damage I'm taking from the HE. It's mostly HE from that gearing that's doing a fair amount of damage to me when it hits. And that, again, is just with the nature of the armor. And he sets a fire, but thankfully my repair comes off cooldown and I pop it.
The ship is on fire.
And ooh, that was a nasty hit too. Like, just look at the damage that he's getting, hitting me, like, on my armor too. It's because of the armor's just so terrible against HE. Hindenburg gets knocked out. I won't bore you with the rest. I ran for a little bit, got my last heal off, and then swiftly got deleted by a Montana. Anyway, we're in the Republic, and this gearing is AFK. Just wanted to show that. It explains why I'm running from the southern side of the map to the northern side of the map. And watch this, alright? There's a cruiser. He's not too far away. He's within, you know, prime deletion range of most tier 10 battleships. Ooh, that was a nasty hit from the Yamato I just took. Anyway, and he's mostly broadside. He's a little angled, but you know, 17.5-inch gun should have no problem, right? I didn't even do enough damage to him to get the kill, and most of my shells hit him. That's aggravating. Anyway, also most of the damage I've taken, I took en route to link up with the fleet. I just got HE spammed and sniped from way back from the Yamato and whatnot. Another cruiser incapacitates something at more overpins. I don't get why they... I mean, I appreciate the penetration damage that it does have. Oh, watch this. This is really annoying. Look at this beautiful grouping. And most of them hit, but they don't do a big deal of damage, even though the guy says it's heavily damaged. That should have deleted him. If I was in the Montana, Kurfürst, definitely if I was in Yamato, he'd be dead. But not in the Republic. Bismarck, broadside. Give them both turrets. Get about around 11k damage. Some decent damage there. Just because it's German battleship, and it's just so armored that the shells have something to bite into, unlike when you're firing at cruisers. Turrets, again, broadside. Give them both turrets again, and again, around 11k damage. That's the only time you really do a great deal of damage in Republic, is when you're facing broadside battleships. And maybe like if you shoot a cruiser from the front and you can get through their bow armor, go into their deck, through to their citadel, you do a good amount of damage then. But if they're broadside to you or angled, you won't. It's quite aggravating. I don't understand the logic behind this, because this gives cruisers, you know, they don't have to fear you in the Republic, because if they get close to you, you're just going to overpin them. I mean, you take a chunk of their health out, but they can get close enough to you to where they can just shove you full. And there's like, just look at all the secondaries that are knocked out. It's ridiculous. They can get close enough to you to where they can just shove you full of torpedoes, and I don't get that kill. They can just shove your broadside full of torpedoes, and there's not too much you can do about it, because you don't have enough secondaries like you do in the Alsace. I'm just getting focus fired here and just watch my health melt away, because you don't have enough secondaries like the Alsace to deal with them. I mean, you got a good deal, don't get me wrong. They do have a pretty good range. Well, it's a really fantastic range. But they're not Alsace level secondaries, which is odd. You'd think the tier 10 would be an improvement over the tier 9, so it would have more secondaries, but they actually have less, and they're not as durable. And I don't have the secondary health module on Alsace nor on Republic, so that's not affecting it. And I just went undetected, but we're going to lose anyway. We got stomped pretty bad, so I fire at the Bismarck. Another 11k. And it's open season on baguettes. Kaboom. Alright, last game in the Republic. There is an Atago coming around the corner of this island. It's really close to me. You watch this, I believe he's like 2-3 kilometers away. And what you think's gonna happen happens.
Our victory is in sight.
Perfect broadside shot right at the citadel. Overpins. What? He actually does the same, if not more damage, back to me with his HE that hit my upper armor on the side of my ship. It's annoying. Anyway, curve first, broadside. Trying to get my turrets to rotate into place. I think that does kind of okay damage, but I was focusing on, yeah, it does okay damage. On the Atago right here, because, yep, there's the torpedoes. Both sets got off, so I'm good to go.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
So, I know where he went, and he probably knows I'm coming. He just fires torpedoes, so I only have one set to deal with when I get over there. You know, I got mostly full health, and I actually got a competent team this time, so we're winning quite well. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to go for it, and whatever happens, happens. They only got 3 ships left. If I die, the team should be able to handle it. And plus, I got the majority of the cap points, too. We're at like 940-something points. Secondaries, I want to shoot at something else, but I went behind the island. Here we go. There's the Atago, there's the curve first. I want to do a bunch of damage to the curve first, actually clip the Atago in the process, get a good nice chunk of health off the curve first. Focus my secondaries on the Atago. Atago has launched both of his torpedoes by now. I have activated my speed boost way back when. And watch this. Of course, I can easily outrun the torpedoes with the speed boost. That's nice. Again, perfect shot. Doesn't even kill him. Does a decent chunk of health, decent chunks worth of health damage to him. My words got messed up there so bad. Did a decent amount of damage to him, but I don't kill him. And it was all overpins. I think I got, what, maybe 1 pin? That should have been a citadel. That should have been 2-3 citadels. He should be dead. I don't get it. I mean, I get that they're overpinning, but why would you make a battleship that can't punish cruisers? I mean, you get lucky every now and then, and you will absolutely delete them, but for the most part, you're going to overpin the crap out of them. And okay, fair enough, if the trade-off was accurate guns with good velocity, fine. But these guns, they're not that accurate. They're fairly accurate. They got good pins, but you only have 8 of them at tier 10. Now, I get that it does have to be balanced, but okay, fair enough. You want to give it that? Why does this ship have 32mm armor all around? You say, oh, it's because it's so fast. Top speed is 30 knots without the speed boost. Curse goes 30 knots. Montana goes 30 knots. Yamato doesn't go 30 knots. Thankfully. But so it's like, what am I giving up all this armor for if I can't go, if my base speed isn't faster than the other tier 10s? I go with the speed boost, you can get up past that. But still, it's like, if I'm going to give up all this armor, this ship needs to go faster than 30 knots base speed. Then the secondaries. Why does it have less secondaries than the Alsace? You know, that would help certainly with the overpinning of the cruisers problem. It would be enough to deter the cruisers from getting right up next to you like they can, and you know, they can get away with that pretty well because usually most of your secondaries get knocked out, as you saw. And they do get knocked out pretty easily, way easier than the Alsaces. So either you need to, Wargame needs to give the ship more secondaries, or buff the secondaries' health on it right now to where they don't get knocked out so fast. In terms of AA, I think both ships have fine AA. No problem there. Now, for the armor, like I said, it either needs thicker armor or you need something to offset that. Maybe a low heal like the Conqueror has, and not to the degree to where you can get back 60% of your armor in one heal. Not that bad, but just a better heal or something, because you just crumble under HE fire. It's, as you saw, the Amage shot my upper armor with HE, and he did more damage to me than I probably did to him. Like, what? That was my bow armor. What? But is the Republic a bad ship? No, it's not a bad ship. It's certainly a slightly underpowered ship than the other tier 10s. It has a lot going against it and not enough going for it. I mean, really, if you just give it a better heal, that'll probably solve most of the problems and make it a more enjoyable ship to play. But I don't know, after playing the Alsace and going back and playing all the other tier 10s, it's just a little underwhelming for me going back to it, especially playing like Yamato and Kerr first. You know, it's like, it just doesn't feel as good. I mean, it's not bad, it's just underpowered. And then you have the Alsace, which is an amazing ship and probably a better ship than the Republic. And it's at tier 9. Which, I mean, you know, if you don't want to play the Republic, then just play the Alsace, and then you just unlock the Republic as a byproduct of playing the Alsace. I don't know. Because originally I said, you know, in my final impressions video that it's a good ship. And yeah, it still is a good ship. My opinion on that hasn't changed. It's just not as good as the other tier 10s. I mean, the Conqueror has the same 32mm armor all around. It gets the low heal. It gets God tier A, the long heal. Words are hard. It gets flamethrowers for cannons. But the Republic only gets, you know, 2 turrets. Granted, they do have a 24-second reload. Throw the main battery module on there, 20-second reload. Throw Adrenaline Rush on there, and that sucker, that reload will get down to well under 20 seconds pretty fast. And as you can see in the first Republic clip, that was definitely happening. But I also wasn't doing a lot of damage because I was overpinning a lot of things. And yeah, I just don't like a battleship that can't punish cruisers, you know, for showing your broadside. Like that Attigo, he got 2 kilometers away from me. pretty much any other tier 10, unless I got screwed by RNG, he'd be dead. Real dead. But anyway, yeah, I would say the Alsace is better than the Republic, and but it's kind of a problem, but it's also not, because you can just play the Alsace. Anyway, it's tier 9. It does fine in tier 10 matches. But I think they need to change the Republic a bit. You know, give it a really. If you just give it a better heal, I think that's all it needs, and you'll be fine. It's just, you know, you either need a better heal or give the secondary some more health. But I think the easiest thing for Wargaming to do would to be just give it a better heal, and that's all they'd really need to do to it. But anyway, yeah, if you like the video, click that like button and subscribe. We are on our push to 200 now. That is our next subscriber goal. And yeah, thank you all so very much for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments below.